Yesterday on the Pat McAfee Show, live on ESPN, Aaron Rodgers addressed his comments about Jimmy Kimmel, another Disney employee who was not happy that Aaron Rodgers made a joke at his expense. And we saw the woke sports media and everybody intentionally misinterpret those and blow those comments completely out of proportion. Well, Aaron Rodgers did not apologize, but he went on air and explained what he actually said about Jimmy Kimmel. But in the aftermath of that conversation, Aaron Rodgers also took a shot at certain people at ESPN and the mainstream media for intentionally misinterpreting it. Aaron Rodgers blames media for Jimmy Kimmel comments, blasts ESPN in return to Pat McAfee Show. And indeed, we'll listen to that comment. Aaron Rodgers blasts ESPN boss Mike Foss for saying Jimmy Kimmel remark was dumb and factually inaccurate as he puts outrage down to cancel culture. You're not helping. But before we get to that, there is a big announcement that Pat McAfee made as soon as he opened today on his show, and that is that Aaron Rodgers will not be appearing anymore for his normal Tuesday show. Now, you can read that a couple ways. He's in the past come on for playoff appearances like he did last year. He came on for the playoffs. Other years, he's done this for 4 years now on the Pat McAfee Show. Other years, he has not made appearances during the playoffs. So it's not exactly an announcement that's like, hey, we've decided to no longer have this. It's basically, hey, we wrapped up the regular season with Aaron Rodgers. But he does say a couple things. Pat McAfee says Aaron Rodgers is done appearing on the show for the rest of the season, admits people behind the scenes at ESPN have major problems with him, but he's continuing to push forward, says he will never give up control of his show. It's unclear whether or not Rodgers was scheduled to appear during the playoffs, has in the past, but not always. Some people are trying to claim McAfee canceled on Rodgers. No proof to suggest that's the case. That is very much up in the air right now. But before we listen to Pat's comments today, how we opened the show talking about Aaron, let's listen to what Aaron said yesterday specifically about ESPN. And then the following day, we find out Aaron Rodgers will not be appearing anymore for the rest of the year.
So I'd like to put this to bed to move forward. I don't understand, to just finish this up. You know, I do understand. But I don't understand a Mike Foss comment because he didn't help out either. And I'm going to quote Mike Foss. He said, Aaron made a dumb and factually incorrect joke about Jimmy Kimmel. It should never have happened. We all realized that in the moment. Mike, you're not helping. You're not helping because I just read earlier exactly what I said. So, and this is the game plan of the media, and this is what they do. They try and cancel. You know, and it's not just me. It's nowhere near just me. I mean, if you look at all the different people who've been censored from the internet especially during COVID.
He'd go on and talk about all the different things that he's been called, all the different labels that have been put on him from the mainstream media all in the past couple years, and basically debunks it all. He says, Mike Foss, who is I think the senior vice president of production or something like that at ESPN, the person who came out and made that statement, he slams, says, I don't fucking work for you and you're not helping anybody when you just fall into the ploy that everybody else is labeling me. And this comes on the heels of Pat McAfee being openly critical of Norby Williamson, another ESPN executive. That caused a lot of ruckus as well. And now we have this opening for Pat McAfee today. We're going to listen to some of this.
So Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, season 4 is done.
Yeah.
Complete season. There's going to be a lot of people that are happy with that, myself included, to be honest. With the way it ended, it got real loud. And real loud. I'm happy that is not going to be my mentions going forward, which is great news. We always, and this is legit, and I think I'm never going to act like people are out to get people.
Sure.
But throughout my life, there's been a lot of people that have definitely wanted to see me not do good because I'm an uber confident human being, loud. And if I think you're trying to hold me or my guys back, like, I'm an asshole too. Certainly have zero, don't need you. Hey, what are you? Nothing. Sweet. See ya. Keep it moving.
And then he would get into how tough it is to work with some people in the industry. He knows that a lot of people do not like him, don't like his guys, don't like the type of show he runs. And that takes up kind of the next 2 or 3 minutes. But I want to fast forward to other stuff that he said specifically about his problems he's had with ESPN and what Aaron Rodgers is saying.
Been a lot of people who've been waiting for us to fail, a lot of ammo and things to attack us for over the last week. And we would love to get back to the point where we just move on and continue to silence All the haters over here who can't negotiate as good as I can. All the people over here who can't create a show as good as us. And all the people up here who just gonna always be here and they're gonna hustle and do their thing, which I respect. But we need to do that. And that is our focus. That is our goal. And Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer. He's a 4-time MVP. He's a massive piece of the NFL story. Whenever you go back and tell it, he will be a huge part of it. We are very lucky to get a chance to chat with him and learn from him. Some of his thoughts and opinions, though, do piss off a lot of people. And I'm pumped that is no longer going to be every single Wednesday of my life, which it has been for the last few weeks. On Friday, obviously, I threw us into the fire as well. Forever stand by that. Everything else, though, like, just can't do that and not what we want to be known for. And I'm also pumped that I don't have to do these types of talks anymore. So with that being said, sports are alive right now.
And that's really what the entire introduction was about right there. I think it's a little bit of a walk back from Pat McAfee. That's what this feels like to me. Now, like I said, when you go back in the history and you look at the Pat McAfee show, they're currently live right now. There's JJ Watt live on air. When you go back and look, last year, Aaron Rodgers did appear during the playoffs. I think even during Super Bowl week, he did appear. You can see 11 months ago, this is January, 21st. So he did make appearances during the playoffs. He has not done that every single year. So sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Who knows if he was planned to or not. And regardless of whatever Pat wants to say about, he'll never let anyone control his show, there has to be a lot of friction right now based on him calling out ESPN, based on Aaron Rodgers calling out ESPN and everything. But by saying, I'm kind of tired of, having to do these reactions every single Wednesday when something happens, I'm ready to get back to sports. That part feels like a little bit of a walk back to me. I am certain that Aaron Rodgers will appear next year at the same thing, season 5 with Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show. But a lot of tension building between Pat McAfee and ESPN with Aaron Rodgers thrown right there in the mix. What do you guys think about it? What do you think about what Pat McAfee said about never giving up control? Do you think that Aaron was supposed to come on in the playoffs? Or do you think it was always going to be kind of his last appearance? I can't give a definitive answer. I feel like they may have moved away from it, even if they had planned on doing it. That's my gut feeling at the time. But to have Aaron Rodgers live on ESPN and live to, 100,000 people on YouTube or whatever it was at the time, calling out ESPN, calling out the woke media, that is not something you're going to see on any other show other than Pat McAfee's. And we did get to see it all season long. We will see what happens going forward. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.